Welcome back, folks. Thank you for sticking with us throughout this awesome best of three series. We're only at, not even at the halfway point here. We're coming into game 3 between Zephyr and RRQ. We've got a whole nother series coming up after this, so not a bad way to get our evening started. Gods, game 3, it's all tied up 1-1. Who's going to go home with the money, as they say?
I'm really torn. I would give slight edge to RRQ. I think they're just a team that's had more experience under pressure. I mean, they just regularly play against tougher competition. Is the kind of the short end of that one. Like the Korean scene is great. Like I think it's growing and getting stronger, but Zephyr have not truly been tested that many times. Even looking at the KDL finals recently, they got a 3-0 easy win. I think when they get a tough series and it's a close series, that's where they maybe lose their composure and get a bit of like emotional, whatever it may be. So we'll see how they do in game 3. But my expectations, I think RRQ. They've lost tons of series before. Like end of the day, like they play in Southeast Asia against teams like Orange, Titan, Mythtrust, Arrow Gaming, and they lose series. They lose close 3-game series. That happens, and I think that's something which Zephyr just haven't really experienced yet. And a team like RRQ will not look at this like, oh, we've got to win this series. Like there's tons of pressure. They'll just say, look, it's just another game. Treat it like game 1 or game 2.
Yeah. So far in both these games, we've seen Zephyr go for double Hand of Midas, no Hand of Midas at all for RRQ in any of the games.
Yeah.
And I think that strategy is okay, but they need to pick hard carries if that's what they want to do here. Let's go ahead and hop into our draft and take a look, as it's going by rather quickly here. And this time they'll grab the Lifestealer once again. And they did have Lifestealer in game 1 where they were successful, so maybe that will be their bread and butter to taking this series.
Yeah. It's going to be a different style of Mirana play. Maybe Bambo in the offlane. Not really a blitz hero for mid, but it definitely can be run in the offlane if they want to. So I like this. RRQ, though, they get the Ember Spirit. This is the big difference in draft that we haven't, the hero we haven't seen in the last 2 games.
And the Ancient Apparition.
Yeah.
Where's AA been, man? What happened?
He wasn't banned out in the first stage. I think he was getting banned in the second stage during the first couple of games.
Yeah.
I like what RRQ are doing with their bans, though. They are taking out the Batrider both game 2 and 3 after game 1. And a lot of, I've heard from different players and some pros who think, honestly, Batrider is one of the strongest / most OP heroes in the game, next to heroes like Lycan. There's a reason why that hero, I think Batrider is more deserving of a ban than a hero like Ember Spirit. Like I think some teams you really like play like TZ on EG, you really want to ban Ember Spirit against, but I think generally speaking,
yeah, there's an ease of execution gap there, where pretty much any pro team has a player that can play a mean Batrider. Not every pro team has a player that can play a devastating Ember Spirit.
And Batrider's just amazing at every stage of the game. His early game laning stage is probably where he's the weakest, but I would say he's like still strong
so
there.
That's saying something, because I mean, we saw in game 1 when Bambo had him in the off lane, he was outlast hitting a Luna who had support inbound. So.
I don't think there's any real stage of the game where Ember Spirit's weak, and there's some certain stage of the game where Batrider is the king of everything. Because that's like mid to late game where he's leading the charge, finding pickoffs, and you can't stop him getting pickoffs. He blink lassos, he force us out before you can react. Like, unless you pick a Vengeful Spirit swap or something to counter it, you've got no way to deal with the Batrider. This hero is ridiculously good, and that's, I think teams just kind of forgot that, but now they kind of, over the last month or two, they've remembered.
It's funny how it works, where Batrider is super imba a few patches ago, and then he gets nerfed, and then there's the huge overreaction. Oh, he's dumpster tier, nobody's picking him, and then all of a sudden people realize, wait a second, he is still unbelievably good, even though he was nerfed, and you know, a few months ago people were saying that he was just not really worth picking anymore. So it's amazing how things can change without an actual change log. But Zephyr will make an interesting 4th pick here, and that will be the Death Prophet to round out their roster, who I really like when paired with Dazzle.
Yeah, Blitz has been playing this hero decent amount in some of their matches, so not something. This is a kind of draft that I feel Zephyr are quite comfortable with. So we'll put Mirana either to the offlane or maybe even a support for Aosim. We'll have to wait and see what they look to do. But RRQ, Shadow Shaman, AA, really strong support duo. So I feel one thing Zephyr maybe want with this last pick of theirs is a good Blink Dagger hero to combine with the Lifestealer, because otherwise I feel it's going to be hard for Lifestealer to actually get into fights. Mirana does not want to leap into things, which is where I think we maybe look towards more a support Mirana with an offlaner who's going to be your Blink initiator.
Right, and that's where that puck ban, I think, makes a fair bit of sense from RRQ. He can play that offlane pretty well, but wow, the Magnetar coming out. A little bit of the Magnus action.
Combined with an Ember Spirit as well, of all things.
And okay. So not that Blink initiator that we were thinking about.
They're going for some dual lanes, I imagine. Like do a Lich Mirana offlane, or even put Lich mid to deny some farm for your... Well, I guess Ember Spirit's not going mid, he's going safe lane, but... Lich is one of those heroes you don't generally want to safe lane trialing him against an offlane hero because he's just wasted there. You want to send him either to deny farm from the mid hero or from the enemy carry. So
right.
We'll see exactly where he positioned himself.
Interesting. I would not have guessed a Lich last pick here for Zephyr.
Me neither.
But I worry about that lifesteal. We mentioned it in the first game where it's just a different lifestealer in this meta. When paired with somebody that you can have the delivery vehicle and get those infest bombs, he's really useful. But just sitting back and farming, getting those right clicks, he needs some kind of a position tool if he doesn't have a great infest bomb. And I worry a little bit for Zephyr, but
I do too. This is, of their 3 drafts, this is the one I like the least. They've got very little lockdown. They've got pretty poor team fight in the sense they've got no way to initiate a team fight. Like, if they get a good team fight on their own terms, or with Corey who can actually go in on the front lines, tank some damage, be raged up, it's decent with a Chain Frost. You've got the Death Prophet ultimate, you've got the Weave, but end of the day, they haven't got initiation. RRQ have a Centaur who's going to likely have a Blink Dagger, they've got a Magnus, they've got Ember Spirit, they've got insane initiation, not to mention just a flat out better team fight. So I don't see what Zephyr's plan is here. They haven't got initiation, haven't got team fight, haven't got lockdown, haven't really got much. Like, the 5-man push is okay with the Death Prophet, but none of these other heroes really 5-man push. So I think this is their weakest draft yet. Not to say they're out of this game, but it's definitely looking like it's going to be a tough one based on the draft.
Yeah, no, there will be a 4-man smoke from RRQ roaming about the dire jungle. I'm not sure they'll be able to find a kill out of it. Zephyr are positioned pretty appropriately here behind the tower. They'll go ahead and throw down a sentry.
No pings.
Yeah, pings coming out, but nothing after that. But yeah, I look at this Zephyr draft, and I just see a death ball. I see Weave and Exorcism. That's going to be your golden ticket to taking team fights, because without that, I mean, they're going to have to force fights under towers, like you said. There isn't really a great initiation tool besides the Sacred Arrow, but that's not very reliable. It's
where the Lich pick's kind of weird, because Lich is not like a 5-man death ball type hero.
Yeah,
if you want a mech buy, you get something like the Chen with heals combined with a mech buy, and you get a great little hero. Sure, there's an A on the other team, but I don't think that's necessarily like an all-in, like, oh, we can't go Chen anymore. They've got an AA. It's still a good hero.
And does Zephyr have a competent Chen player? Yeah. Do they run Chen semi-regularly?
Not regularly. I've seen Aosin play it before.
Okay.
It's not like a go-to thing.
Oh no, Blitz is going to be in some trouble here. They're going to rotate on him. Shackles, the chilling touch. There's the skewer out of the tower. That's an easy first blood for RRQ. Shadow Shaman grabbing that bonus gold, but Zephyr off to a slow start, and that will really set back Blitz. He's going to have to sell that GG branch and pick up a TP scroll here to get back to lane.
Bottom lane is a tough time for NFR now. He's against the dual lane, has got the Stout Shield. He's not going to get a lot of farm here, but we talk about Ember Spirit. He's not a hero who needs a lot of farm. He needs the levels there, and that's where getting the solo XP to start things off. Well, getting the Knight XP is actually going to hurt him, but we'll see his 2 supports come and back him up momentarily.
Yep. Yep, he can play this safe lane role. I don't know. I still think that solo mid Sleight of Fist Bola build is better, but I've seen enough people be successful with Flame Guard that I can't complain about it too much. It still works. He's still a ridiculous hero no matter what build you go for, so this kind of safe lane style of Ember Spirit, a bit more passive, but he scales so well into the late game. Get yourself, you know, a Battle Fury, maybe 2 Battle Furies, a crit stick, maybe a Desolator, and that is something to be feared. So just putting him in the safe lane is still quite potent.
And Johanna, he's got the pull going in this Radiant safe lane, so this is going to get some nice experience as well as deny XP from Zephyr. And the main thing is you need to pull back the wave against the Lich, so this double pull is going to work wonders. This Observer Ward should block the pull. I think it was just planted a little late, is my guess, because that spot normally does block the pull, unless it was slightly misplaced.
Yeah, it's a spot that's kind of right on the cusp. I mean, we'll see here in just about 5 seconds whether or not it blocks it or not. It could have just come down late. I was looking up at the top lane, but yep, just threw it down before that 30-second mark. So
they allow 1 pull to go off, which is still, even just that 1 pull helps out RRQ a lot. It pulled the wave back, it denied 3 melee creeps of experience, which doesn't sound like a lot, but every little bit adds up. So, and just getting, and at the end of the day, you're getting NFR more farm because of the wave getting pulled back.
Yep. And Bambo will get harassed a little bit here, and he'll actually press forward. This is a pretty scary position. There are the fiery bolas. He'll leap into the side shop, and unless he can TP home, and he does have one, I think this should be a kill, and they'll have it. Gehenna once again grabbing that last hit, and that will be 2 creep kill, 2 hero kill, Shadow Shaman.
And that was Bambo using TP scroll as well as his last Tangos there. So he chews through like a good 200 gold worth of items, not to mention doesn't have the TP to get back to lane.
Oh.
So that's one of those things where when you go for that TP home, you've got better make sure you know you're going to get out of there. Because if you don't, it hurts you twice as much as if you just let yourself die.
Yeah. And I'm curious about his positioning there. I mean, he saw the Shadow Shaman, he got initiated on here, and then he just kind of wrapped around, and instead of going out to safety, he just went right back in, and it made for an easy sandwich. It was kind of an odd play. He really shouldn't have been surprised by that one.
Well, meanwhile, top lane, Aosin is doing his best to push the center out of the lane, but there's only so much a dual lane can do against a centaur who starts boots first, so this centaur should be perfectly fine. He's going to pick up his tranquil boots shortly as well from the side shop, and after that he's got tons of movement speed, good armor to deal with any harass coming out.
Yeah, nice to start with that ring of protection there, so you can pick up your tranquils in lane, and also just get a little bit of bonus armor. It does help against the Dazzle and Lifestealer, as they are pretty physical heavy, as Dazzle harasses him back. But like you said, really no way they should be able to pick up an easy kill there.
Yep.
Purge. Thought they may try and initiate on him.
The Shadow Shaman's gone mid. He was kind of looking for initiation there, but I think he realizes there's not a whole lot he can do. He's just sitting back, waiting. Okay, he gets the smoke, so will he loop around? There's no vision of him. It's nighttime as well. There's going to be just an illusion rune. He would have much preferred to get a haste or an invis for this gank, but
for sure.
He'll leave it for the mag instead. If it was a haste or an invis, I think he may have picked it up himself, but illusion rune pretty useless.
Yep. Just good to fill up the bottle and get Magnus a little bit more mana. Now, even though Blitz did take that early spill, it didn't set him back too much. He's still doing well in last hits, just one behind that of the Magnus. So he has recovered at least some. He does have a bottle on the courier and boots on the way.
Oh, top lane.
And, yep, there's the Shackle onto Aosin. 1 point engraved for the Dazzle, but won't even be able to use it. They've got plenty of crowd controls to take him down. And now Corey, he'll try to go onto the Shadow Shaman. I'm not sure he'll have enough damage here. Good path blocking from Riki. Yep, Corey with enough damage to finish him off, and it will be a 1-for-1.
That's where having the fast phase boots is essential. There was a kill at bottom lane. The Lich actually went down.
Oh, yeah, and Bambo not out of the clear quite yet.
Low, yeah. So, 1-for-1 at top lane, but they get a kill at bottom. And Corey, if he tries to rush a Midas there and only has brown boots, he does not get that kill. That's where I think the big player I noticed who does this was Febby in the Korean scene, and he was always rushing Midas on lifesteal. Getting phase boots first, I think, is core item. I think skipping the phase boots for a Midas or going Midas before your phase boots is the wrong way to play this hero. It's
only good if it's one of those where they've sacked the off lane and you're literally in complete free farm and you're racking it up. But if there's someone contesting your lane, a chance that you can get some kills, especially if you're paired with somebody aggressive like Dazzle, I completely agree. The phase boots just open up so many more opportunities. So
Shadow Shaman positioned at mid will go in, has the Observer Ward for vision as well. And this is easy Shackle. See an RP use if they need it, but I think it's...
Oh no, Don Juan!
He didn't even need the skewer. He could have just shockwaved.
Oh, wow. That is just... That is a big missed opportunity, but Riki will come around and he'll clean it up, so...
Blitz is probably laughing to himself like, oh my god, I'm so lucky, like, and he's like, oh, god damn.
God damn. Yeah, that's probably one of those hands off the keyboard, just, guys, what just happened to my life? But, nice read from Riki. He does rotate out of the lane, but makes it well worth it, and... just an odd course of events right there. But RRQ, that'll be 5-1 here at the 6-minute mark. And
the Centaur getting the kills better than the Mag, because Centaur's... I think Centaur's going to find it hard to get a Blink Dagger. They're going to find Aosin now. No chance for a Grave.
Oh, boy. That Dazzle, he had a Grave available, but he just gets obliterated. A double damage rune on the Magnus as well. And whoa, Mirana grabs a kill on the Ancient Apparition. Maybe they'll get one here on the Ember Spirit as well. A few more right clicks ought to do it. The Star Storm will be enough to secure the kill. So a nice double kill coming out for the Mirana. Played by Sexy Bambo.
That was much needed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Meanwhile, top lane, they're looking maybe to go back in again. Dazzle TP's in. Centaur's low, but there's a Mag with a Skewer and an RP. He's waiting for this Rage to wear off. He's going to move forward now, looking for the double RP. He's going to get it! The Hoof Stomp's Zenithal. The double edge catches out too. They lose. Oh, they lose the Centaur to the Poison Touch, and Corey actually got the Infest off. He's going to stay alive. He wants Don Juan. He might get Don Juan. The phase boots here, helping him out.
1 second.
Ooh, the Rage was there, though.
Yeah, or probably 3 seconds, but yeah, Rage there, and we'll just be forced to retreat as Ancient Apparition comes in.
Oh, that was Centaur unfortunately didn't have the stun to follow the RP.
Yeah.
They couldn't quite burst down Corey.
But still a cheeky little play there. The double RP, not too shabby. And again, Lifestealer escapes death. That's one thing that's been going well for Zephyr. He is 1-0-1. Even though Dazzle's died a few times, it hasn't been in vain. Corey grabbed one of the kills, and having an extra assist will help out his farm. He's still the last hit leader, actually tied with Blitz in the mid lane, and that puts Corey at top of the net worth chart. Not by much, but still, Lifestealer top of the charts is not bad at any point in the game. Gehenna in the mid lane, he will fall to Blitz. Cheeky plays as Blitz moves around in the trees, and down bottom, oops, barely caught the very tail end of that one. But yeah, they'll get a kill onto Purge here. For some reason, I'm having trouble catching these kills in the bottom lane. They keep coming out simultaneously while we see action in the other.
That arrow I thought was going to hit the Ember.
Yeah.
The creep was just about to die.
Yeah. But Blitz using that exorcism in the mid lane. Centaur wrapping around. Ice Blast off the mark. We'll clip Blitz as it flies in, but yeah, just bottles up that illusion rune. And Centaur, 1,200 gold here at the 8-minute mark. He's on point for a pretty early Blink Dagger.
Yeah, that's where the kill mid, where he gets it. Because it's always harder for Centaur to farm a Blink than Mag. Mag is the mid lane. He's always guaranteed some easy farm. So Centaur getting any kills he can, that's 300 gold towards a Blink Dagger, which is quite a decent percent of it. So he'll have it in probably around the 11-minute mark, I'd say, at this rate, assuming he doesn't get focused down too much at top.
Yep. Which is really, really quite good. And he's gotten a lot of experience as well. He's just about to hit level 8, so he's just having a good game all around here to get things started. And in the mid, oh, thought they may try to engage on Blitz, but no, Don Juan just harassing a bit.
But yeah. He's trying to just scare Blitz back. He's got no backup, and without any backup, this is not a kill he can get. He's trying to just pretend he has backup to scare Blitz into playing more passively than he needs to.
Yeah, Ember Spirit could be in a little trouble down here. He did go the full Flame Guard build, 114 here at level 7.
Blitz is caught out.
And oh yeah,
no Chain Frost too. Arrow's gonna get dodged as well.
Too much damage. That Flame Guard burns him down so quickly. And Lichy, well, he'll get a trip back to the well.
Nicely played by Gehenna. Gehenna saw the arrow coming in. Like, as soon as he casts the shackles, he moves his screen so that he's watching the Mirana. Sees the arrow coming in, so I think he cancelled the shackles early just to make sure he dodged the arrow.
Yep, smart play. If he got hit by that arrow, Mirana probably could have hopped in with a Starstorm and made that a 1-for-1. So better to interrupt the shackle and make sure you're safe. Arrow, nope, off the mark. Thinking NFR may move into the side shop.
Just TP's home in front of Bambo's face.
Huge item pickup, though, for RRQ. That is Don Juan's Magnus with a Blink Dagger. Doesn't have it in the inventory quite yet, but Hex in the mid as well as a Shackle, Stampede, and Blitz will fall. TP support coming in, but they just won't get there in time. Aosing gets hit by the... oh, pardon me, just standing on the Ice
Chain Frost now up. But yeah, how's that available? But
that's really unfortunate here. 2 TPs coming in, but unable to do anything. Sexy Bambo off the mark with the arrow in the bottom lane, and now he's in a bit of trouble. Does not have a leap. That's a kill for the Ember Spirit. Make it 11-5 here, gods. Things looking a little bit rough for Zephyr out of the gate. Golden experience graph, not too scary, but they are losing some momentum here.
Ember Spirit's kind of reaching that peak of his early to mid-game power. He's going to have his drums as well as his level 10, which is max Sleight of Fist plus max Flame Guard. And with that, he's going to be really hard to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Rost has grabbed himself some arcane boots. Like I mentioned, that Blink Dagger on Magnus, also a double damage rune. Once they get the blink up on Centaur, things will be even more scary. Ice Blast connects, RPN, there's the skewer back, and now Blitz will fall once again. This is part of the problem with the Death Prophet. She's a great hero, but just so susceptible to ganks, and with the lineup that RRQ have, I mean, Blitz is just struggling, and it's not even because he's playing poorly as much as what do you do in a scenario like that? He's 1-4, and now he's going to lose his mid-tier 1 tower, and Death Prophet is not a hero that plays well from behind.
This is going to be so tough for Zephyr. They took game 1, and we're in 20k gold lead in game 2. They were thinking, like, we've taken this series 2-0, and here they are, game 3, and they're down by quite a big margin. It's only about 1,500 gold, but they're just giving up kill after kill, and RRQ, their lineup hasn't even really come into play just yet. They've only just got the blink on the mag. The blink on the Centaur's just about to be picked up. And Ember Spirit just about to hit level 10 with his drums. That's where he gets stronger. So I feel like all 3 of these core heroes of theirs are only just now reaching the peak of their ability to fight. Yep, and a big Ice Blast down bottom. NFR will just continue to pursue. Now Purge throws the Chain Frost. Will take a couple of bounces, but the Flame Guard will help him out just a bit. In comes the Magnus. Chain Frost takes a few more bounces. Mag brought it to him, I think.
Just not enough, and they will grab a couple of kills. Dazzle also gets picked off, and oh yeah, there you go. Ember Spirit will fall.
Barely. That was so important that Blitz gets that kill. If he TP's out and Blitz doesn't get that kill, they're in.
Yep.
They're really far behind.
Dazzle did fall in the top lane as well. Centaur was able to pick up that kill. More simultaneous kills happening, but RRQ finding a 1-for-3 across the map.
That was the blink on the Centaur coming into play there. Dazzle not seeing it, and with max double edge, Dazzle is just food. Less than 600 HP. I'm pretty sure Centaur with a Stampede kills Dazzle from full HP.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Oh, arrow will connect on the Don Juan up top. Starstorm as he hops forward, open wounds, and that'll be a pretty easy kill for Zephyr, and a nice 400 gold bounty goes the way of Lifestealer, ending that killing spree streak. So nice kill for Zephyr. Some much needed golden experience going the way of their Lifestealer. He's 2-0-1. Corey now level 11, and it looks like he will just transition right into an armlet after that hand of Midas.
Armlet against the AA though is always a bit of a dicey one because if you've got the armlet on, you get hit by an AA Ice Blast. Not the best place to be. So
yeah.
It's one of those things where it doesn't mean you don't go armlet at all, but it does make you kind of second guess the armlet.
It's kind of like Mech versus Ancient Apparition. Still useful, but you have to be very careful with how you use it.
I like Bambo's positioning here at the secret shop. He's in a really good spot to get an arrow at this top lane, as it looks like Zephyr do want to go and push Death Prophet. Not here though, and that's the one here they kind of need if they want to try actually push down towers.
And they'll hop in. They want to go for the Lifestealer. He does rage. Survives for now. Now Magnus coming in. Still keeping an eye out for an arrow. Looks like he'll be in a bad position. Purge will just get destroyed. Mirana. Oh no, it looked like such a good spot, but unfortunately they took the fight to them and they didn't make it happen. Meanwhile, down bottom, Shadow Shaman finished off the tower, did pay with his life, but I think a worthy exchange. Just a support Rasta for a tower. RRQ will take it, and some space gets created. Now they will transition this to a push up top, and I don't think Zephyr are really in a great position to defend it.
Bambo just TP'd bottom. He TP'd from the secret shop to bottom lane to try help out with that kill and tower defense. So without Moran able to TP in, it's Death Prophet and maybe Lifestealer top, but I don't think that's heroes that want to try and defend, and Bambo needs to be careful bottom lane. Oh, he gets stunned. The Ice Blast going to miss. Good reaction from Bambo. That lead. If he doesn't get that off, he probably dies to a stun plus double edge.
Yeah, if the stun had come just a second earlier, right, he would have gotten double edge and the Ice Blast would have come, and he probably would have shattered. I think that would have been enough damage. Top tier 1 tower falls, and Don Juan trying to be cheeky with the Blink Skewer, but Corey gets off the rage and will be able to walk back to the tier 2 tower safely. Still RRQ grabbing more momentum. Now a solid 3,000 gold lead. Experience graph actually just about zeroed out. So Zephyr's still hanging in there. They only have one hand of Midas this time around. It is on the Lifestealer, but it is helping to keep them in the game and limit the deficit as RRQ are continuing to grab momentum. Arrow flies in the Radiant jungle, but will be off the mark. Kind of just scouting it out.
For now, it's a couple just big individual plays, I feel, keeping Zephyr in the game. First, it was Corey at the top lane, Rage dodging the Blink Centaur stun, and then that one there from Bambo at the bottom lane. Like, if these kills get picked up for RRQ, they just start to snowball even harder, because they're getting towers, they're getting kills, and with that, they'd be getting more kills on core heroes. But staying alive is the big thing here for Zephyr, which they've done well enough. Like, they've got the armlet up on the Lifestealer now. Problem is, like, he needs... Who does he actually infest into a fight? And that's really, like, the big question mark. There's no one to actually... Infest Bomb, and I feel like Lifestealer already, after like recent patch nerfs, is not as strong as he used to be, but without Infest Bombs, he's even weaker.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, if this was a Bat Rider instead of a Lich, this would be a completely different game. Of course, Bat was banned out, but as a point of reference, we'll see roster wards come down to the top tier 2. Moonlight Shadow in for the initiation. Gehenna will be the target of choice. The defensive Stampede comes out. Exorcism pop. That'll be enough to secure the kill on the Rasta. But an RP will connect with Blitz into Corey. Plenty of follow-up damage. Both of them will fall. That'll make this a 2-for-1. Arrow comes in, connects with a creep. Ice Blast flies as well. Off the mark, but now Purge in big trouble. Sleight of Fist. Bolas connect. That'll be a dead Lich. No, great Grave from Aosin. That'll buy Purge some time, but still might not be out of the clear quite yet. Now they know Dazzle's Grave is down. They'll just turn and focus him. That's a dead Shadow Priest. Bambo, Leap still available, may make it out. Dazzle did, or pardon me, the Lich still did get picked off. Throws an arrow, tries to TP out, gets interrupted once again. This will be a 1-for-5 exchange. Zephyr in big trouble, gods.
They went all in on that Shadow Shaman. Right? Lifestealer, they used some Mirana invis to get into the fight. They chased Shadow Shaman down with the Death Prophet ultimate as well.
Yeah.
And the two key heroes, Lifestealer and Death Prophet, grouped up for the RP. And the problem was, by the time the RP came, Lifestealer's rage was worn off, and he was such an easy kill. They didn't even need, like, Ice Blast came in to help out, but they were both already dead before the Ice Blast even landed.
Yeah, the Ice Blast barely did anything that fight. It was a disaster before that happened. Now the tier 2 tower falls. A couple of the heroes respawn. Blitz throws a silence, but Don Juan still able to TP out. And now NFR on the Ember Spirit. He should be just fine. Does have a Fire Remnant available if they catch up to him.
They've got no stuns or lockdown. Unless they hit big 5-second arrows from afar, this is where the Zephyr lineup is quite weak.
It's one of the, like, if you want to run a Lich, you need to have a mid-hero that has some sort of lockdown, whether it's a DK or a Puck or a Storm Spirit, somebody that has some sort of crowd control disable. And likewise, if you want to run Death Prophet in the mid lane, you really need a support that has a hard lockdown, something like a Vengeful Spirit instead of the Lich, where you can at least find some way to prevent Ember Spirit from just walking away in a situation like that.
Yeah.
But that wasn't even really that risky for NFR. He can just stroll around, and like you said, as long as he doesn't get hit in the face by a 5-second arrow, he should be just fine.
I think the Sanking wasn't actually banned out. Like, they could have just gone for that Aosin Sanking and then had Dazzle as their 5-position support for Purge.
Yeah,
so
that would have been great. But Dazzle Lich, it's sort of like having a Dazzle AA or something like that. We'll hold that thought though as Blitz once again gets initiated upon. It was a smoke. They burned the Stampede, and at this point, Death Prophet is just an easy kill. Blitz is so underfarmed. Phase Boots, drums, Null Talisman, and a magic wand. He is just not so tanky. And Aosin, oh, daddy. Was that I thought it was an RP for a second, but it was just the hoof stomp.
Blink, Skewer, hoof stomp, and that's just great synergy between the RRQ team right now.
Yeah, we got the Blink brothers here, the four-legged, two-handed weapon Blink. There's a lot of similarities between these two.
There was a hilarious kill, the kill top, like really early on in the game, where they used the double edge and the shockwave at the same time, and like both of them raised their weapons and like threw forward at the same time. It was this thing of beauty as the shockwave and double edge burst down. I think it was the Dazzle from full HP, and he just melted from full HP to nothing.
Centaur and Magnus would make a cute couple. I'll tell you what, gods, they are. What is Magnus? I mean, obviously Centaur is a Centaur. Is Magnus is he a Centaur Rhino?
I think Magnetor is a breed.
It's a thing. It's like a Centaur except a Rhino. Half Rhino, half human.
They're ice Centaur Rhinos. Like they live in like the Arctic areas, as far as I'm like going back to like your Warcraft 3 lore.
Right. It's like a Centaur except they had a population bottleneck.
Yeah.
And,
Magnetoris was like one of the actual like bosses in the Warcraft 3 era. I believe.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
He was in one of those like Northrend type places.
Through evolution and genetics, they adapted to grow horns, whereas the Centaurs adapted to grow horns on the other.
Well, Centaurs are more like half Peep Magnus, and Magnetors are not half.
Oh, okay. They're their own thing, and Centaurs are like a animal-human hybrid kind of a.
Yeah. They're human in the sense that they actually can talk.
Right. Magnus can't talk, I see.
Magnus is trying to go for some fancy footwork. No, I'm saying, no, Magnus can talk, I think,
Magnus can talk.
So in some way they are part human, I guess. I guess, Warcraft 3 will animals can talk.
Yeah, well, Dazzle will just get obliterated to start off this fight. A decent Chain Frost will fly, clears out the creep wave, will actually bounce around the heroes, and, well, they'll find a kill onto the Shadow Shaman, but Purge as well as Corey will get picked off. Ancient Apparition also falls. Bambo taking some decent damage here. And actually a pretty good hold for Zephyr. It will end as a 3-for-3. Arrow, juked by Riki. Nicely done.
He'll blink out of there. Thought about maybe re-engaging, but NFR's really low here. So he can TP home and come back to his Fire Remnant, which he might do soon.
Just a little bit sloppy for RRQ. One of those just like, oh, we're ahead. Let me hop and skewer you. And then Zephyr was right there.
That mag was just he was trying to he blinked forward to look for the skewer, didn't have it, so then he tried to force stuff forward to get the skewer and then still missed the skewer. So.
Yeah.
If he kills the Lich and there's no chain for us, that fight probably goes pretty well for RRQ, but end of the day, a bad fight is still an even fight for RRQ. That's the worrying thing.
Yeah, it was still a 3-for-3. It's not so bad. And Blitz could be in a little bit of trouble here. NFR does connect with the fiery bolas, but will be forced back. Does get silenced up, and that is the bane of Ember Spirit. He does not handle silence as well. He does, however, have his first Battle Fury complete, so he is starting to get scary, and this is just the beginning. And oh, pardon me. Sexy Bambo, what was he doing so far forward all by himself in the mid lane? Yeah, that's an awkward position to be in, but he'll get punished.
T1 tower was low, but you're a Marana. You're not like someone that can just burst it down quickly.
And there's two Blinks on the other team, two Blink Initiators. That's just not the kind of place you want to be.
He's managed to dodge some of those Blink Initiations using a leap, but end of the day, you're dodging it there. You have to leap forward. That's the thing with the leap. You can't change your direction when you see that Blink. You just got to leap whichever way you're going. If you leap into the tower, you're screwed. Ooh. Blitz almost bottom lane getting caught.
Yep, cancel cast the hoof stomp though, so nice little play. Ice Blast flies in, does connect with a few.
They're just split pushing. Magnus isn't even here. He's at top, so I don't think they're going to overcommit to this bottom lane. They don't want to for sure. Yeah, we'll go in. They'll try burst down Blitz. He gets scraped up here, NFR tries to go in, but it's too late already. One more Sleight of Fist in a couple of seconds, and with the cleave damage, this is going to hurt.
Gehenna coming in, does have Rasta wards available. There's the Ember Spirit hopping
Blitz,
forward.
50 HP.
Oh, wow.
Barely.
Rasta wards come down onto the Sexy Bambo. There's the Shackle as well as the Hex. That'll be the end of Marana to start off this fight. Now Corey, the target of choice. He'll be pushed back, and now Magnus is joining the party for the first time. RP available, but they'll just settle for this tier 2 tower kill. And Zephyr just cornered into their base. Buyback from Marana, burns the Moonlight Shadow.
Also misses.
Yep, off the mark, and Oh, wow. A big hoof stomp connects with 3. There's a Hex on the Bambo. This is going to be a dieback. A beautiful RP catches 2. Blitz pops the X, or the X, what word is that? Exorcism. That's what I'm looking for here. Shane Frost flying around, taking a few bounces, but it's just not enough damage. And yep, there's the GG. Well played. Yeah. I don't know why I got tongue-tied trying to say exorcism, but thank you for bailing me out there.
Whew. Game 1 and 2 were amazing to watch. Those were both games that could have gone either way, had some crazy back-and-forth battles. I mean, Game 2 was a 20k gold lead comeback from RRQ. Game 1 was a big roller coaster, like one team wins team fights and the other wins team fights back and forth, but Game 3, a bit more standard. RRQ got ahead, kept getting further and further ahead, and I think you just look at the draft here when it comes to Zephyr. They had a draft which, to me, if they wanted to go for that 5-man death ball type push, they needed a hero other than a Lich. I don't think Lifesteal is good for that draft as well. I think there was just a few weaknesses with this draft.
It was just all over the place. I totally agree. I mean, just looking at some of the ending stats, Lich was 0, 8, and 6. So, and it's not even that Purge played particularly bad as much as, like you said, it just doesn't really fit in. What impact can Lich have? And a pretty one-sided game.
It was still a really good best-of-3 from Zephyr. Like, I look
series.
at that and say, these guys are going to be a legit contender in the SEA. Well, I don't know, it's not the SEA scene now. If Korea, you're combining Korea, but in the Asian scene minus China, Zephyr are true contenders.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, anytime a best-of-3 goes to Game 3, that's usually a sign that it was a pretty damn good series. So I'm not complaining too much here. Now, we will have another best-of-3 coming up today for the inaugural. Our coverage continues, and it will be Titan versus Myth, and that is scheduled to start actually in just about 15 minutes. So we'll have a short break here, and then we'll hop right into it. So don't go anywhere, guys. We're at that halfway point. One more best-of-3 for our coverage tonight. Thank you for joining us. I'm Zyori. With me is Gods, and we'll be back after this break.